Mum's new boyfriend starts acting as if he would be my dad, and at first made her back him through smart lies, till he overplayed his hand big time, satisfying karma at the end. Let me first give you some background so you get here people are coming from. My father has left a few years prior. Mum bought a small house from the money from the divorce. And a few months before has gotten herself a boyfriend. At first I was truly happy she had moved on. But soon I realized she has fallen for some real piece of shit. Now you need to understand. My father was an alcoholic and a narcissist. So my mum's normal meter was truly broken. Anybody treating her halfway decent must have appeared like Prince Charming to her. So please do not judge her too harshly for her choice. I don't. Now he was not only halfway decent. He really treated her well, though he was an a-hole to me. Brought her flowers. Went out to eat regularly etc. But what I realized and she did not, was that he was a parasite. He had maybe $100 to his name and his only income as support from the state. A couple $100. Now I already hear you ask. How did he afford flowers and going out? By living rent-free and have all his costs paid for till he gets back on his feet. One last thing. As the headline already told you. He soon started to show an immense entitlement towards me. Basically he said this is his house. So I now have to follow his rules. Of course I told him this is my mum's house. Not his. And I do not have to do jack shit unless mum tells me so. He took that really badly. Since he had an ego problem, as you probably already guessed. I tried to tell my mum but she would not believe me since he always acted very nice to me when she was around. But as soon as she was the Cold War started. He pulled a lot of small shit like demanding in a patronizing voice I bring him some beer while watching TV with me. While mum was on the loo. When she came back, he told her he had asked me nicely to bring him a beer when I stood up to get something. But I refused. Insulted him and ASAP backed down. So of course she told me to apologize and get him beer. I tried to explain but she would not let me. So he kept pulling petty bullshit to establish dominance. After this whole story I asked my mum why she would always believe him and not let me explain. Apparently he had told her I was super jealous he was in the house. And wanted to get rid of him by trying to make him look bad. So she backed him to show me he is not going anywhere. Time for the main act. I had gone out the night fro Friday to Saturday and had come back at 3 a.m. My mum was gone over the weekend. And he fucking exploded. How dare I disrespect him like that coming home this late? I told him calmly he does not get to declares a curfew for me. And my mum allows me coming home this late, which is true provided I stayed at the house of 3 specific people I am friend with and whose parents are my mum's friends. He flipped out even more and called me a dirty liar. He to hen gave me the classic, as long as you put my legs under his table, and me being a smartass of course answered, this is my mum's and my house. You are a guest here. He screamed at me he is gonna kick me out of the house and I will not be allowed back till my mum returns. I screamed back he cannot do that since this is not his house. I threatened to call my mum. He, emboldened by her backing him up all the time, told me to do just that. But I better not lie to her. And tell her what is actually happening. I put her on speaker and told her, he is trying to kick me out of the house till you come back Monday. It was Saturday. She did not believe me. And told me to put him on the line. So he started by telling her I disrespected him as the man of the house by coming home so late and the lying to him about this being okay when I stay at friend's house. And that I need to learn to respect him. So it is up to him how he disciplines me since she is not there. Then he lied and said he told me to be home by 1 a.m. For the first time he let his mask slip. And she picked up on it right away. So let me get this straight, I allow my son to be out till 3. But you think you get to overrule my decision on my son? And now you think you get to kick my son out of his house? He realized he fucked up. He tried to get her to take his side. But only dug his hole deeper. Well, he keeps not respecting me in my own house. If you let him win now he will never respect me. And you think the right punishment for disrespect is to kick him out for 2 days? Yes. Finally you get it. I knew you would come around. Well, he did nothing wrong. Since he was allowed to go out that long. You have no right just to overrule my decisions on my son. Him, but her, I am not done. Apparently you think the right punishment for your disrespect is to kick you out till Monday. Quote, him, but I only have $100. This is not fair. Where am I supposed to go? Her, I am sure my son had even less money. And you did not give a shit. You got 30 minutes to leave. I tell the neighbor to check. If you are still here in half an hour he will call the police and have you trespassed. When I come home Monday we will talk. I am such an idiot that I kept believing you over my son. Once Mum came home I told her how he kept pulling this bullshit on me. And she was so sorry she kept backing him up. I had tried to tell her many times he treated me exactly like my father did when she was not around, one major reason for their divorce. But since he treated her so differently and acted so differently than my father, she believed him that I was jealous and tried to get rid of him. But when she heard him say these words my father said so many times, you owe me respect since you live in my house, she suddenly realized I was telling the truth all along while he was the liar. That is why she got so furious so fast. She never realized how badly he really treated me and how entitled he acted since had hidden it so well before. But when he started to talk about deserving respect in his own house, something my father kept saying, from me. A house he did not put penny into but was somehow his. Even worse was thinking he could overrule her on her own son. My father kept overruling her decisions. So she finally saw through him and got all the evidence she needed I was telling the truth all along. They broke up that Monday. He never even got back into the house. They met for a coffee and she demanded her keys back. Originally she wanted to give him a month. But when she entered the bar they met at, he right away started to scream at her how dare she kick him out of the house like this. And that now he would never get the respect from me he is entitled to. So she told him she is only here to ask for her keys back and that they are through. P.S. I did not know if this belonged here or in entitled people. It fits for both, so I posted it in both. Like and subscribe for more.